Alright, now. So, um, so we were reacting to the Titanic, and yes, this video kind of blew up. Hold on a sec. I have to check if everything's working now. I don't even know if I'm live really. Hello. Yes, I should be live, but it's not really shown. Now it is. Alright. Let's check this out. And hear if everything is working. But it's not really shown now. Okay, great. This is working fine. Maybe I'll turn the music a little quieter. So. Okay, it even has timestamps. So, I was reacting to the Titanic sinking. Oh wait. Let me close it real quick because I'm not sure if it's still playing. That would use up a lot of my internet. So, let's close it real quick. We were reacting to the Titanic. I think I said it so many times now. And the video kind of blew up. Like, Jesus, I got 4,000 views almost. And I'm really, really thankful for that. The views still grow. This is like my most popular video, and I don't know what happened. It's got 84 likes and 42 comments. I mean, half of them are me answering them, me answering comments, but still, this is like actually really sick. I think actually Jacksepticeye was kind of I think it got recommended after this video a lot, so I guess that's kind of what got this much attention in the first place. Okay, let's read some of the comments here first. Okay, I heard mentioning that the Titanic may have survived hitting the iceberg head-on. Parks Stephenson, a veteran of the Naval Academy and Titanic forensic researcher, said that a head-on collision would have been devastating. He said that it would compromise the watertight doors, possibly bent the keel. Passengers would have been thrown from their beds at 20 knots, and the wireless rigging sorry, I'm not used to reading English, could have been undone, rendering the wires radio useless. The problem was the iceberg was just so massive and had too much mass. Scientists say that if a modern liner were to have a collision with an iceberg, it could sink. Besides, no officer would ever purposely hit an obstacle head on. Which I found really interesting. That the Titanic could actually survive if it would hit the iceberg straight on. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, okay, but there's an answer no, saying no. It would have been worse if it would hit. And here is another comment saying the opposite. This is just so interesting, especially since it got like a conversation starting or a discussion. I didn't really expect to learn so much from this video. Because I wasn't going in there with like the expectation to educate people or to get educated. I was just like, I found it kind of interesting, and so I watched it, but that so many people enjoyed watching it, I'm actually really glad. So the reason why the captain took 7 minutes to restart the engines, I think that's something I said in the stream, is because they just started to inspect the damage. In fact, the captain was on the bridge 1 minute after the collision and ordered the lifeboats to be prepared as a precaution. He then called the ship's designer to inspect the damage the iceberg caused. They went down together to the damaged parts, but the captain went up to the bridge and decided to restart the engine briefly for a short time while damage is inspected. Uh, yeah, and I just said, I love that you know all this. The problem is I really don't have any idea how ship works or like any historical knowledge about the situation, so I and I, and I really don't want to look everything up, so I'm just gonna believe those people here. If something is wrong, you can always tell me. Okay, and he says he is kind of in Titanic for 2 years now. Which I really find interesting that people really care about the ship so much. Is such an interesting thing for me. You misunderstand the number. 5. It means a lifeboat 7 had a capacity for, but launched it with only 28 people on board. It's not for Americans. That's not the same miles. Americans use land miles, which is around 1.6 kilometers. Don't know the exact value. Let's see, we use nautical miles. So, okay, this is also really interesting. Wait.
And we do it for like every other country in the world.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that was probably a mistake of mine, saying the thing with the miles, because on sea it does seem to be another measurement, another miles measurement. So I'm really glad that he told me that, because I guess that's kind of an interesting fact. Like, I'm talking it so down, it's not kind of an interesting fact, that is actually really nice to know. Where was I? Yeah, I think I didn't really understand the lifeboat thing, and and I actually still don't get it. But I still answered no and know a little more. Maybe I got it at the moment, but now I forgot. And here's another comment saying that he disagreed that the Titanic would have stayed afloat if it hit the iceberg straight on. Titanic, when she struck the mile, her structure twists and the watertight door jammed. So if the Titanic had hit it on first, the bow would have been completely destroyed, and her structure would have probably twisted and jammed the watertight doors anyway. Besides all of the injured and death that would have occurred with the impact only. And then I answered again. But this is so interesting to know, like, I guess it is kind of a difficult topic, but I guess no one knows for sure. I mean, you can just argue and see which argument is better. I really can't tell who's right now. And like I said, I really don't know a lot about ships, so I really can't say if the Titanic would have stayed afloat if it hit the iceberg or not. It'd be really nice if the comments would under this video would also like discuss this topic. Dockers are not firemen like firefighters, they shovel coals into the boilers. Okay, that was just me being an idiot again, because I don't know English a lot of times. You should check the MS Estonia, the Bismarck or the Hood. Those are historical ships that sunk. Yeah, I didn't even know those existed. Okay, but that's also something that I wanted to say, that this is probably the last Titanic thing or anything with ships that I'm doing, because I mean, it's kind of interesting, and it's kind of nice to know a little bit of it, but I feel like I don't need to know this much about this ship, and I don't have to, and I guess it would kind of get boring if I react to every single ship, or if I react to the Titanic too many times. But here again is not a, it's something I probably won't do as well, because like I said, this is it is an interesting topic, but it's not that interesting to me, you know what I mean? Titanic's has never had a different name. That's something that a lot of people wrote. So I guess I was wrong with that. Titanic had never had a different name. It's always been Titanic. Yeah, RIP all 1,500 people. Also very true. It's a really, really sad thing. And there's just not much more to say. People dying is always shit. It's always difficult. Oh, Wolf. How was the time from Beggy here? Yes. And also, this comment exists. I mean, I think I translated it, but right now my English isn't good enough. I did put it in a translate, but right now I just can't say anything. And this guy got me 20 subs. I don't know how he did it though, but I'm really thankful actually. He got me to 20 subs. I don't know why him subbing made me 20 subs, but I'm really thankful as well. And literally to anyone who subbed, not just because of that video, but in general. I don't know how many subscribers I got on YouTube right now. Like 29. We're almost at 30. And I'm really thankful for that, because getting subscribers on YouTube is actually really hard. At least it seems for me. So I'm really thankful for that. And my man was being sexually assaulted. That was also a funny comment because lucky boy. But it's all fine. Lucky boy is a chill dude, and I'm not really that like, I don't know how to say it. I'm not really. I'm really open to something like that, because it's not like, for me it's not that I like block people who write something like that in chat. I think it's funny, and for me it's just fun and games, so I'm not really that strict. You can put pretty much, you can almost put anything in the chat. I won't, there's really, really little that I will block. I probably won't block anything at all. And that's why I also don't need moderators, except for like bots or something like that. But even if something racist is written in the chat, I'd rather say why racism is stupid and tell that to the person than blocking someone who writes that. But Lucky Boy for me is just funny and a nice dude. So why did I click on that? Okay, now we oh wait, yeah, the reason why I react this video right there is because on my newest video that you should definitely watch, because I spent a lot of time in there, even put timestamp on there. Someone wrote, "Hey, for the Titanic 10th anniversary on April 15th, can you react to the Titanic real time on Sea of Glass Sinking? It's so much more accurate description of what you watched 6 months ago." And for the anniversary, I am doing that. But like I said, this will be the last one. But this video also is something that I put a lot of effort into. So, damn, I didn't want to advertise anything, but I feel like I have to, because this is a new format that I planned. Like, I want to make YouTube videos as well, and this format is called All the Bad. It's basically just me doing scripted videos where I talk about stuff that I'm really interested in and that is bothering me or really interesting to me, and generally topics that I feel like I need to talk about. Yeah, this one, like you see, it's 30 minutes long. I really don't know how much time I spent on it. I think it was like 8 hours or something like that. I mean, I've never done anything like this, so most of it is just me not knowing how stuff works. But yeah, and I feel like these videos, I kind of want to do them, but it's also like so much effort. I don't know how often I re-recorded the single segments because I said the wrong sentences there. Like, you see me doing a lot of breaks right now and stuttering and having all these fillers right there, like or and this happened there as well, of course, a lot. So I had to do a lot of retakes. Okay, but we are reacting to it now. So, please tell me the audio was still working, because last time it just stopped. So it's on 4K, which is great. So again, let me open this real quick. So, is it working? So again, let me open this real quick. It does seem to work. So, alright. So this is by the man, because like people want me to do this, but it's not like I'm feeling forced to do this. I won't do anything that I don't want to do, so don't get me wrong. This following film is a real-time depiction of the events of the Titanic disaster on the evening of 14 to 15 April 1912. It is based on a non-fiction book on a sea of glass, the life and loss of the RMS Titanic by historians Ted Fitch, J.K. Layton, and Bill Wormston. Times and events shown in this film are as per that work. This is the only recreation of the sinking made by... Jesus, I really can't read. Made by and for the authors of the book. Now I get this. It was really confusing to me. Made by and for the authors of this book. Please consult the original volume for references and further information on why the conclusions shown in this film were drawn and what their basis is. According to the latest research into the disaster, what you are about to see is an authentic depiction of the events of that tragedy. (1:38 p.m.) No, wait. 11:38 p.m. I'm sorry. 11:38 p.m. The problem is my screen isn't showing the whole... I can't see the whole screen for some reason. I think I need a new monitor or something, because this is really confusing to me. Like some part is just cut off. And I can change the resolution settings of my PC how I want. It still won't show everything. I don't know why. Maybe it is because of the monitor. Because maybe there's something wrong there. Ooh, a ghost.
Yes. What were you saying?
11:39.
Thank you. Hard starboard.
It's animated, sort of.
Hard starboard. The helm is hard over, sir.
This is so quiet. Oh, there are even some things linked above there. Jesus, why is this so fast? Why is this... Damn. Titanic collides with an iceberg. The collision lasts less than 10 seconds, but causes damage in the fourth big tank cargo holds 1 to 3, boiler rooms nose 6 and 5. So here it hit. Seriously, the people didn't have to be animated. Just makes this look like a really bad video game. There were, by the way, there were 2 videos like this. And from this YouTube channel, I just took the one that has more views and more likes. I really hope I didn't pick the wrong one there. Like I said, this is the last one I'm reacting to. Have the other ones more accurate. Like, I've already reacted like 3 hours to the other video. I don't have to react another 3. And I'm reacting 3 hours again. I think like 9 hours would definitely be too much. Assessing the situation. Captain Smith leans out from the starboard bridge cap.
Close the watertight doors and stop the engines. Send it to the captain. Mr. Boxhall, head below the explorer and inspect the damage.
Okay, here they inspect the damage apparently. So I kind of want to double speed this, but there's so much happening there. So and I want to do it real time. We want to experience we kind of want to experience this, you know. So 11:42, Titanic's engine comes to a complete stop. Damn, I can't believe we already watched 4 minutes. That went really fast. So I wonder if the people on board noticed what was happening when it happened. Like right now. I can't really tell in the animation. I still have to check though if music is still loud. Sorry, I'm kind of nervous, okay? I don't want to do a stream for nothing. Like streaming now and later on noticing. Captain Smith rings down on the engine, orders telegraphs for half ahead. So, is it still good? I still have to check though if music is still loud. No, it's perfect. But the video seems a little too quiet. But who cares? How's the quality, by the way? Okay, it's 22p, 72p. Titanic's initial starboard list has already become apparent. I don't know why, but this kind of looks like a reptile there. Just me. What the hell is that? Oh, it's just a chair. But the reflection looks like an eye. We're watching a fucking ship sink, and the only thing I'm reacting to is like fucking chair. But it's really interesting that everything is happening like so slowly. And all of a sudden, everything just goes so fast. You get caught up in this so much though. Imagine how big this ship must have been. There were thousands of people on board there. Jesus Christ. Like thousands of people, that was a number that I really it was kind of hard to imagine for me how much thousands of people is, because those are numbers that is kind of hard to feel or understand. Titanic's engines are rung off for the last time. But like, if you've played zombie mode in Call of Duty, like when you're at round 30, you kill about, I think it's like 2,000 to 3,000 zombies. So imagine that. Imagine that is how much 3,000 is. So I got some here as well. What is it? I don't know what the flavor that is. Tzatziki.
Tzatziki.
Tzatziki. Okay, it's basically the same word. How do I take away from it? But it's really important that you know that it's tzatziki style. Maybe because it's not German. But I mean, for some reason we also have a German word for cities and something like the Eiffel Tower or something like that. Which in France is called Tour de la Eiffel or something like that. Still don't get why we translate stuff like that. Why do we have to? Okay, maybe because of the pronunciation, because it would be kind of hard. With the ship's engine stopped, until steam remains already operating at near maximum pressure. Before the collision, pressure in the system increases to the point that it begins lifting the safety valves. Steam begins venting loudly from the escape pipes of the ship's funnels. Seriously, I think I'm going to remember that stuff so badly. The stakes so badly. This date, 14th and 15th of April. It's just like 11th. Is it September? I had to think what September means in English, but it's also September. I think these are the only two historical dates that I will ever remember. I'm really bad at remembering numbers, by the way. There's nothing that I'm worse than at remembering numbers. Comes Andrew, is seen head below to inspect the damage via the working stairs leading down to E deck. Also, I can't remember names. So I will not remember who any of that person is. Did I already drank all of my water. These chips are so great. because of its models, how to port maneuvers turning the ship's bow to starboard in the minutes after the collision. Titanic's drift to her final stopping point with a bow pointed roughly northwest. True. but really interesting. Like the first 10 minutes or something like that, basically nothing happens to the ship. I wonder how much water is in there currently. The lights fail and the stock holds. And also I think it's really interesting, like how people view stuff like that differently. And they watch with a whole different eye. There are some people who are like really technical about it, and they're thinking like, oh, that happened to the ship, and really analyze what happened to the ship itself. And there are some people like me, the technical part was like seen in the comments, but there are some people like me who really view that not from a technical perspective, but as like this human perspective. Like I don't imagine what happened to the ship and uh, what technical problems happened there and what happened there. But I think to myself, like, what happened to the people there? Uh, like, some people may think, what happened to the ship? The crew describes the venting steam as deafening. And some people may view like the ship cracking or something like that, um, and thinking to themselves like, okay, this and that technical stuff was the cause of the ship breaking. And I think to myself, like, what happened to the people uh, while it cracked? Like, did some people already died at that point or something like that? Like, but I guess it makes sense that so many people watch this, like, analyze this, like, from a technical perspective, because the creator of the video did as well, as you can definitely tell by these descriptions. Passengers have emerged onto the forward well deck and begin kicking around chunks of ice that fell from the berg. Wait, what? Emerged onto the forward well, kicking around. Oh, okay. So, some. Oh, okay. That's something that wasn't shown in the first one, I think. But like these descriptions aren't really like there are some like right now parts in these descriptions that describe the people and what they did there. But most of this stuff is basically just technical. Well, but I guess you probably can't say what happened to the people at which point. You can't really analyze that. Like, how would you know that? I guess these like the documentation of this ship were all technical, which makes sense. Like, why would anyone document what people did at that time? Wouldn't make sense. Except if it's really something that lead to the death. James Johnson, following Thomas Andrew from the engine room to the mailroom, notices flooding in the first class baggage room on G deck. Assistant Second Steward Wheat sees water coming onto G deck just after bumping into Johnston. Yeah, I already forgot who Johnston was. And I think I already forgot what Johnson was. I thought it was explained to the world in a very same sentence. But remembering stuff like it, impossible. For me. And right now I'm watching this a lot more sober and emotional point of view than last time. Because last time I really imagined how I would feel if I was on a ship at this moment. And this really made it really emotional for me. But right now it's like, now, before I was watching it with the imagine how it would feel to be on that ship at that time. And right now I'm watching it from outside. Like as a viewer. If that makes any sense for you. Ships are amazing. I'm holding them down here so it's not too loud. Balloon Stuart Marcus, this is Captain Smith. Going back up the working staircase from his first inspection, Triple O. Back on the bridge, Quartermaster Oliver delivers a message from Chief Engineer Bell to the sheriff's officer's right. He is told to find the boatswain and tell him to get the boats ready for lowering. So they did know about it really early on. The crew knew about this really early on, but I guess the people on board, most of them probably didn't. I wonder how. There were probably a lot of people sleeping at that time. But I mean, it's like. But there could also. The people could have been awake at the time as well, because it's like. Not like you need to work the next day or something like that, because it's like. Not. Yeah, because it's like a free. They use their freedom to go on that ship, you know what I mean? But I probably woke people up. I still wonder if most of the people were asleep or awake at that time. Oh, most people were probably awake. On the other hand, there were probably a lot of children on there, which makes this actually really, really sad. Well, playing them. Okay. Because of the collusion, the Danish clerks are not put back. Through the reminder of the disaster, ship times remains 2 hours and 2 minutes ahead of time in New York, 2 hours and 50 minutes behind time in England. Damn. Captain Smith orders that the boats be re-dyed and the crew called out. He imparts the bridge again after Boxhall informs him about flooding in the mailroom. Boxhall is sent to wake up the off-duty officers, lie to Pitman and Lowe. Lowe falls back to sleep. What? What the fuck, Lowe? Chief Officer Moody begins preparing the F-board on the port and starboard side. But they did still sleep at the time, so basically why did I start eating in the middle of the sentence? But basically, the collusion didn't wake them up. So probably a lot of people didn't wake up because of the collusion. I ate half of them before I started streaming. And it didn't taste as good as it does right now for some reason. Now it's empty, okay? By the way, I don't like political topics, but oh, there they are preparing the lifeboats. But currently, I feel like I kind of have to talk about this because this is kind of a difficult situation that we're in with Ukraine and Russia. It's a really, really sad situation. And people look for whose fault it is. And it's not the Russians, it's not Ukraine's. Or is that even a word? I don't know. It's just some people on top, like these politicians. So it's not the Russians, it's the people, the politicians in Russia. It's not the Ukrainians, it's the Ukraine politicians, because the people don't want any war. It's just these people above that really don't have any humanity left. Or it's just fucking... It's just one of the most ugliest things. Wait, let me read that real quick because I don't want to stop too much. The Lightning Stockholds come back on. 3 officers are observed inspecting flooding in the mailroom. On first class baggage room, water is observed within 2 feet of F-deck. But it observes that the speed at which the water is rising, it seems to slow down. Has seemed to slow down. Oh damn, it sinks already. I didn't even notice. Wait, is it? It's kind of going back now. Camera goes so. Yeah, but it's like I said, it's not any. You can't put nationality in this. I've already heard people doing that, and this is ridiculous. It's just kind of. It's basically a cold war that we're having right now. Because people are already threatening with fucking nuclear bombs. And I can't believe there's fucking war in Europe. I think this whole Corona thing was like a real was one of the reasons that this all escalated so much. Yeah, and it's so sad just not being able to do anything but to sit there and hope that it doesn't get worse. I just hate that so much. After finishing calling out the off-duty officers, Boxhole goes to the port side to begin uncovering lifeboats. I don't want to talk about this too much here though, because what else can we do? I wanted to address it, but because it's really important and because I don't know, I am kind of scared. Third Officer Pittman arrives on board deck and notices that lifeboats on the port side are being uncovered, and that steam is blowing off from the boilers. He heads aft and comes across 6 Officer Modi, who tells him about ice on the well deck. Forward, Pittman decides to go forward to investigate. And Captain Smith is seen headed for the mailroom with Chief Purser McCrill and a mail clerk. Why do they have so difficult names, Jesus? Yeah, I guess we all are scared. Jesus! Fireman Hendrickson notices the top over the number 1 hatch, the ballooning up as air escapes, pushes out of the seawater floating to a compartment below. He makes for the engine room to report this disturbing find. And I guess everyone is kind of scared right now. For me, it's kind of stupid because there was a long time where I thought like, yeah, fuck it, if I die, then I die, I don't care. But right now, my life is just heading in a better direction, it feels like. And all of this happening now is just so fucked up, I don't know. There were so many times where I thought to myself, like, I want to die. And oh, it is actually a possibility. It's just so fucked up. But I'm still not afraid to die. I'm afraid of pain. I don't like pain, and I don't want to be in a lot of pain. So if I die, I just hope it goes quick. And I won't notice a lot of it. But I'm not really afraid of death still. Because for me it's just part of life. But like I said, it's just as that my life is going better and that this all happening now is just kind of stupid. I mean, it would be terrible anyways. But the thing is, being making yourself worries are not gonna help you anyway, so why should anyone worry about this? It's just, you can't change it anyway, so fuck it. It's no use, so just live normally, I guess, and hope nothing happens. And not even the hoping is, I feel like, doing anything, so just, for me it feels like you should maybe not ignore the situation, it would probably also be the wrong way. Maybe inform yourself with as much sources as you can. And maybe talk about it, but not spend your whole day worrying about what could happen. Because that's just, I guess it's just really unhealthy and just causes a lot of stress. And stress is also not healthy, so just don't ignore it, but don't worry about it too much. So, Pittman sees eyes on the forward well deck and firemen coming up from below with their kids. He goes under the forecastle to investigate, while back on the boat, decked by 1210. It's nice flavor in my mouth now. So delicious. Sad thing that are already empty. I wanted to eat tomorrow as well. But I still have some chips left, but they were really good. I mean, I still have like 3 packages. I guess I will be sick of chips after that, anyways. I was wondering if those were sirens on the Titanic video, but then I noticed that it's part of the song. Could you imagine just noticing that something with your ship is wrong and you need to evacuate and you're kind of being afraid for your life? Stewardess Annie Robinson sees water coming within 6 steps of E-Deck, but is just going down to the mailroom. She had just seen Captain Smith and Holmes Andrews coming back from the mailroom, and overhead Andrews saying, "Well, 3 have gone already." Captain, a clear reference to the 3 forward. Why is this going away so fast so many times? I hate this so much every time. This is one thing I hate with subtitles so much, because I'm barely not fast enough to read them. Captain, a clear reference to the forward cargo holds Captain Smith, heads back up to the bridge. I mean, I have less problems if like someone is talking and it's translated in the subtitles or something like that. Or if someone is saying this along with the subtitles, because then I can kind of guess the speed. And I guess it's a difference reading it out loud and reading it in my head. For some reason, English text, that's what I've noticed, even if I understand every word of it, are really complicated for me to understand. Like, I already have troubles with that with German text, because I really have problems reading. I don't know why, it's just so hard for me to understand. Like, I could never read a book, really. I've tried to read school books, I really just couldn't. That's why my marks were always terrible when a when an exam was about like a book. Literally, I think I've never been better than a 4, and we have like the system in Germany. 1 is the best mark and 6 is the worst. And I was never better than a 4 at this. And I'm really good at school, don't get me wrong. Like, in German, that's the, what is it called? Like, in English, I had a 2, I almost had a 1, and in German, I almost had a 1 as well. But that was so close. I had something like 1.5, so I was really good at school. But reading books is just really something I just can't do it. I don't know why I can't do it. Like, I guess, like, I can read about like 10 to 20 pages or something like that and still understand everything. But like after that, it's like so difficult for me to understand. Like, there's some parts where I'm just like, wait, what does that have to do with anything? Or who's that person again? Or when was that mentioned? Then a dialogue about, then a whole page is about a topic from before, and I'm like, when was this topic brought up? Why? Like, my brain just shuts off at longer texts, and some parts, there are like so many memory holes when I'm reading. It's incredible. Even with like a 1 page text, it's like sometimes it's really hard for me to understand. And in English, the problem is even worse. I don't know why I have this problem with reading. Maybe if I'd read more often, I'd train that, but I really hate reading. Quartermaster Hishans, why do they have so difficult names? And Bruce Ismay. Over here, Captain Smith. Why can't they all be called Captain Smith? Giving the order to swing out the boats and call up the passengers with their lifebelts on. Okay, now the lifeboats are coming in. Or going out in that case. That in the water, is that like the reflection of the boat, or is it under the boat? Is that part of a boat? Yeah, ship. Is it part of the ship? Or is it like the reflection? I really don't get it for some reason. This ship looks so huge. Like, there should be one person there somewhere on the boat just to see how big this ship is. Hey, I can just watch it like that. I can watch it in Streamlabs. My nose is itching so badly. I guess I can see why they made a love movie about this ship. Because it does look really romantic to be on there. I mean, imagine being there at night and going outside. Looks beautiful, seriously. This ship is just beautiful. I mean, the one of the reasons as well why I reacted was because I was watching the movie like a couple days earlier, and that's kind of what got me interested. But now I can't refer to the movie at all because it's been a long time since I watched it. But the movie was really good. I really didn't expect that. I thought it was like really just this boring love story that is like really cringy and like a woman movie or something like that. But I was wrong. I really liked the romance thing between Jack and Rose. It was beautiful. And the ending was really sad as well. Is the flickering of the lights an animation error, or did they really flicker like that? No, okay, it's an animation error because the reflection of the metal is also flickering. The first, I mean, it would be really weird if it would flicker like that. The first strains of music from the ship's band are heard. That was also a nice part of the movie. Evidence on where they played is contradictory. Jesus, contradictory. Contradictory. Did I say it wrong? Did I say it right the first time? I don't know. Negligible. But it seems most likely that they played primarily in the first class entrance on the boat deck. At the top of the grand staircase were there were stainless upright piano rather than the first class lounge. See, this is the type of stuff that interests me way more, like what the people did. Like the band still played, like what the fuck? The ship goes under and the band still played. That is sick. Like, oh, that's I can't believe that is how they wanted to die. It's just so incredible. This is the type of stuff that really interests me. I mean, the technical stuff would be interesting to me as well if I would understand it, I guess. But this is just so interesting to me that the people just they still played like holy shit. But yeah, like I said, it's hard to document something like that. I don't know how that was documented as well. I guess people reported that, and people who survived the Titanic told about that. But yeah. Or people who die for their religion. That is also so interesting to me. Like, that there isn't this human. You do have a human will to survive, and that is pretty much the the biggest thing that you have in your genes. That is how you work. You are built to survive. So I can't believe people are willing to die for the religion. It's so incredible to me as well, because like, how do they turn this will down? Like, how? I don't get it. Seriously, but the people didn't have to be animated. I mean, there probably weren't like there weren't like 5 people at this scene right there. Come on. Like, if you want to animate people, then animate all. But I think it would have been better if it wouldn't have been animated at all. Like the people there. See, this bench is also so romantic. Just imagine sitting there. Seriously, if I'd be rich, I'd may go on that ship. I would have gone there if I was rich and lived at that time, maybe. Or probably. Oh wait, there are a lot of more people right there. Thomas Andrew is seen rushing up the first-class grand staircase with a look of terror on his face. Oh, with a look on terror on his face. That's something that is really interesting as well to know. With a look of terror on his face. He's on his way to tell Captain Smith that the Titanic is sinking. 2 men confer briefly, probably on the bridge. So now they know, but only the crew members. So the lifeboat thing wasn't like a thing they did because they knew the Titanic was sinking, but just as a precaution, as a safety precaution. But now they know it's serious. Oh man, like the sea is so fucking creepy, man. Like these sea sounds make that this situation makes me kind of, it's kind of creepy. Like the sea is really creepy. Like the noises, just endless miles or kilometers of water going so deep with fucking with so many animals in there. It's most of that stuff, like you don't know 99% of the stuff that's under you. It's so fucking creepy. Like it's probably, or I think it's like estimated that like we as humans in general don't know 80% that's underwater, like species wise. But you as an individual don't know 99.9%, you know what I mean? It makes it so fucking creepy not knowing what's under you. The only thing you know is that there's unknown miles and miles or kilometers kilometers of water and unknown stuff there. And this situation is extremely problematic because the water is fucking freezing cold. Freezing to death is something that I really can't imagine as well. Quartermasters, I should read this and then talk. Quartermasters Hitchens passed the helm during the collision. Leaves the wheelhouse to assist in removing the canvas over from collapsible deep. But freezing to death is something that really, I don't want to know how it feels. This is something that really interests me. That's something I should make a video about. Like, what ways to die are how painful, and like I was reading some of that stuff. Like I know, like a bullet, if it kills you instantly, I mean it can go through your head and you can still survive it, but if a bullet kills you instantly, you won't notice a thing because it just goes so fast. And I know that drowning is really horrifying, but not because of the pain, but because of the fear that you're having. Drowning is apparently one of the deaths that is, I don't know if it's one of the deaths, but it does seem to be really creepy and horrifying. I guess that's why so many people have traumas about water, and there are some people who have like this, are really scared of water. They can't even shower and stuff. It's just sick. I guess that's where it comes from. So this fear has to be enormous, you know what I mean? But I also know that adrenaline reduces pain, which I didn't know for a long time. I think I figured it out. I think I found that out with like 18 or 19, which was which really calmed me down because, like I said, I'm really afraid of like pain. Fresh from his meeting with Thomas Andrews, where he is informed of the fact that Titanic is sinking, Captain Smith gives the order to begin loading the lifeboat. That's why torture is something that really... just the thought of torture makes me... it just fucks me up. Especially since I've seen videos like shit. I already can't handle that stuff. Torture is a topic that is just too much for me. Like I really can't handle a lot. I can't handle death. Uh, I don't know if I can handle it if I like see a person dying in real life. And I'm glad I didn't. But and that's kind of fucked up and makes me think and gives me this uncomfortable feeling. But like torture, this on the topic torture, it's extreme. It's really extreme. Okay, they lower in the lifeboat. I think at least. No, they don't. But on the topic torture, it's just extreme. It's like I know some of the torture methods they use, and it's just so fucked up. Everything is so fucked up, and I don't know why any person would torture another person. It's just so I couldn't do these things that I found out how people torture other people to any human in the world. I couldn't do that if it was my worst enemy, you know. And I can't imagine people just. I don't even care what they did. Even if they raped someone, I just couldn't see that and be like, yes, he deserved it or something like that. It's just such a fucked up thing for humans to do. But I guess it's kind of in us because we're animals. But not even animals really torture other animals. I mean, cats kind of do, but mostly they really just kill them instantly. And cats don't do it as extreme as we humans do it. Like I said, adrenaline is reducing weight. The first wireless message is transmitted from Titanic MGY. It bears an incorrect location, apparently worked out by Captain Smith. That was roughly 20 miles west of their actual position. CQD, MGY. I don't know what that means. And then some coordinates. I think it is 41 degrees, 44 north, 50, 24. That was probably not degrees. But yeah. Fourth officer Boxhall goes on the bridge to see light reported off Titanic's port bow. He asks Captain Smith if the situation really is serious, and the captain tells Boxhall that Andrews gives the ship an hour to an hour and a half after Boxhall tells Captain Smith that the ship had been running ahead of her DR dead reckoning position. Smith tells Boxhall's check the position. Wait, how much time did he give that ship? Gives the ship an hour to an hour and a half. Well, I guess he wasn't that long. But yeah, like I said, torture is just something I really can't handle. Just knowing that it exists. Tom's Andrew runs into stewardess Annie Robinson and tells her to put her lifebelt on so their passengers will see her wearing it. Wait, what? Runs into. Okay. Interesting. So probably so they know how it works and how to do that. Just demonstrating it. They do that on flights as well. Safety things in case anything would happen. But yeah, like I said, it's just something I really can't imagine. Well, I mean, I can't imagine it, but it's just so fucking. And like I said with the adrenaline before, they use drugs to fucking reduce your adrenaline. Your adrenaline. Which makes this even more painful, and it's just so fucked up to me. Like, I used to make jokes about everything, but for some reason, now that I'm older and know what fucking torture means, and I don't even know what torture means because I've never been tortured and I don't know the pain or something like that. But now that I know it at least a little bit, I don't know. I just can't do it anymore. It's just so fucking. It just the word torture. It just gives me this uncomfortable feeling, and really just gives me the feeling of hate. I don't know how I got to the topic torture anyways, but this is just so fucked up, seriously. Like, what the hell? Now that I think about it, I just can't get it off my mind because it's just so wrong. It's just like, how can you do that? But it's in us because we're animals, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be too specific here as well, because I don't want to be, I don't want anyone to be as traumatized about this as I am. And I don't even know why I'm traumatized about this. I've never even, maybe traumatized is an over exaggeration, but I've never even experienced it. And it's, for me, it's like just so, I don't know, I can't even describe this feeling. But torture is just, for me, torture is the most disgusting thing there is on earth. Even if I want information from someone, like, this is so fucking ridiculous. Like, mostly it happens because they want they want revenge, or because they want information. The information is this. You could kind of argue that you hate someone and would do that to him, but even though that's, like I said, I couldn't do that to my worst enemy. I don't know. I just couldn't. It's just so fucking horrible. And what do I want to say as well? Yeah, and then, like, just to get information, that's really sick, because, like, imagine in a war, people tortured because of information they need from them. That's just so fucked up, because these people didn't even do anything. These people fight war because they have to, because they're like forced from other people, and they fight a war that is not really theirs. It's just like people on top saying you need to fight. That's why they do that. It's not even their fault, and they get tortured. That's just so fucked up. Seriously. I mean, there are like some psychological illnesses that you can have, like mental illnesses, where you can't have, where you just don't have any empathy. You just don't have that. You just can't imagine how another person feels. You can't, which is what I found out. Like, this is literally what psychopaths are. They just don't have empathy. They don't know how any other person feels. So if they're like sad or crying, they don't feel anything because they just can't imagine that. Even if they cried or something like that, they don't know how the person feels at that point, which is really weird, and I don't know. It's just like, whoa. For these people would kind of make sense. Doesn't make it any more pleasant, this topic. How did I get to this topic? I hate this so much. Why do I even think about this so much? Like, there, the chance that I get tortured is like so fucking small. Like, why would anyone do that to me? It's like, chance is just so. Why am I playing Watch This Thing right now? The chance is just so low, and this is a thing that bothers me. That bothers me so much. I just can't imagine people who survived war or torture or something like that. Like, imagine fucking woman being in prison, get tortured, raped, anything, like on a daily basis, and being free after years, like, and you can't even drug yourself because you don't have any drugs available. You can't even kill yourself because there's no possibility to. Imagine that, like, how? How can you live after that? How can you even live that? I mean, you have to because there is no other choice. But it's just, you just can't imagine that, how it feels. You kind of would want to know that, how it would feel, because it's like just like so fucked up that it's like, in comparison, you feel weak because you're like sad about, I don't know, about a breakup or about loneliness. You in comparison feel so weak because you like have these small issues, you know what I mean? And just having to deal with these extreme situations, that's just something that is really in my mind. Like I said, I would never want to experience this. Just saying I'm strong, but like when I think about the things that I'm crying about, uh, this is just like, I already feel like I can't handle so much shit, and those people handle so much more. It's ridiculous. Titanic MDY transmits box holes corrected and forever in famous position. Come at once. We have struck a berg. It's a CQD OM position from. This message is received by Conrad Liner Capdia, whose wireless operator immediately hurries to inform the ship's senior officers and her captain. Arthur Renson, the what is? Can't even read it. Jesus. The plane, I guess. The corrected position is still 30 miles west of Titanic's actual position. Wow. Shit. This is a flickering light. I don't know what that is supposed to show me, but I guess it says now. This is an F1 connected to the ship. Oh, okay. Why am I reading a light then? In an effort to contact the ship seen on the horizon, officers a Vauxhall sends Morse code signals to the ship's Morse lamps and bridge. Oh, that's why it flickers. That's why it flickers. And that's also so sad that I think they didn't notice them, and that's so fucked up. Second officer Lightoller orders boat number 4 down to A deck to load and has it tied to the coaling wire in case the ship began to list. However, they soon realized that the prominent deck windows are closed, and no one can seem to find the handles that open them. Lightoller temporarily abandons efforts there and moves on to boat numbers 6 and 8. I guess, and does NO stand for number? I don't know. I feel like this stream really discusses really heavy topics. Like, what did we have already? September 11th, which we didn't really say anything about, but still, the Titanic sinking with like thousands of people dying, September 11th, where like thousands of people died. War, which is fucked up, where millions of people died. Imagine that. What the fuck? And like nuclear nuclear threatening, nuclear deterrence. That's what I wanted to say. While I was thinking about the word, I was like, "Ah, shit, what was it? Think about Metal Gear Solid. In Metal Gear Solid, they say it so many times. I know it for Metal Gear Solid. I'm so sure about this. What is it? And then I just said threatening, because I was like, ah, fuck it, I don't know. I don't want to have these like long pauses all that much, and I can't seem to shake it off. But like now again, I'm having one. But now I was like, ah, fuck it, I'm just saying threatening. But then I was like, no, it was the turns. The turns was the word. And fucking torture. We had like every seriously, even rape. Like we talked about the most horrible things that are happening on the earth or happened on the earth currently. This is a really, really creepy stream actually. Boat number 7 is lowered away from the boat deck. It becomes the first boat to leave Titanic. Now they're lowering the boats. Yeah, we already know from the ones that we watched before that they started off relatively strong with the filling of the boats and using the capacity that the lifeboats have. Did they start strong? I don't know. But especially later on, they really didn't use the capacity that the lifeboats have and just went really fast with lowering them, and some of them weren't even half full. Which I still don't know why that is. I guess because of the stress and because there were so many people like fighting to get in the boat or something like that. No, sir, there was dirt there. Dirt there. Jesus Christ, why is this so hard to say without sounding like an idiot? Dirt. 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 I can't even say dirt probably. Dirt there. So now we have it. Before I said something like dirt. No, no, why am I saying it right now? Dirt. Oh, how did I say? I don't care. It's also such a German thing that I didn't even know notice we have that doesn't exist in English. Just saying fuck it. When I think about it, I really love it. So, I think we're an hour in now. Yes, over an hour even. Oh Jesus, now the time comes where I'm getting tired. I even drank an energy before this. And I start to notice as well because I need to go to the toilet. But I'm just gonna hold it. I don't want to go to the toilet every time. I don't know, for some reason it felt like it's that right there. But I don't really want to go to the toilet every time I need to go. Sometimes if you go instantly the minute you must, then you really have a problem because you can't hold it. No, then you really can't hold it anymore, which you should definitely train. Let me tell you, holding your pee is one of the best things that you can do, that you can train. Okay, maybe not the best things. I guess there are like hundreds of other things that would be even better to train. But it's something you can easily do, and it is really useful because if you can hold it, then you're not that dependent. Like you're not being controlled by your blister or blister. I don't know. If you go instantly every time you must, then every time you must pee, then and if you go instantly, then it's kind of you basically need to run every time you need to go to the toilet, which is a real problem because you like if you just don't have opportunity to, then it's bad. But number 5 is slow it away, becoming the second lifeboat to leave the ship. Assistant Second Steward Wheat coming back from F deck in the vicinity of the Turkish baths finds water flooding down the first class stairs from E deck to F deck. He finds that water had crept into the starboard side of the entrance on E deck, but not the port side. It had snagged its way over and stands down the stairs. Now YouTube's standard going back and forth thing is 5 seconds. That's really interesting because it used to be 10 seconds, I think. I mean, it used to be 10 seconds, definitely. But I don't know if I changed that on this browser or if actually it's that the 5-second thing is now standardized, which could also be. You can play music further, by the way. I just noticed why isn't there any music playing anymore. So let's watch the stream again just to see if everything's working seriously. If not, I am just fucking sad because we talked about so many topics right now. And I really want to upload it like this. And I hope the water isn't too loud as well. Talked about so many topics right now. It definitely isn't. And I really want to upload it like this. And I hope the water isn't too loud as well. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, that really caught me off guard there. The first distress rocket fired by 4th Officer Boxhall from the starboard side near boat number 1. Lowering the boat. Why did I say that right now? I'm like these reaction YouTubers who literally only commented on what's happening. You're lowering the boat like you didn't see that, you know what I mean? I hate it so much when there are like reactions where people just describe everything on there because they don't know how to react to anything because they don't react, they just describe what is happening in the video. You're watching the video and like, okay, there's a ball. What are they doing to it? Okay, now they're doing like this weird thing there. Hey, now they put sugar in. Okay. Now they cut it. And I'm like, bro, I know what's happening. I am watching the video as well right now. I am literally doing that as well. You don't have to say what is happening in the video. So, and I did it for some reason right now. Titanic MG. But I guess it's not too bad if you just do it once or twice, you know what I mean? But like people, there are like some people who really describe literally every single thing they see just to say anything, you know what I mean? Thank MGY as Frankfurt, DFT, are you coming to our assistance? Frankfurt asks, what is the matter with you? Titanic replies, we have struck iceberg and sinking. Please tell Captain to come. Okay, we'll tell the bridge right away. Okay, yes, quick. Wait, what? Is okay the short term for a name, or did they really say okay? I think it was just like short. How do you say that? Shortage? Fourth Officer Boxhall on the bridge answers a call from Colonel Masters Roy on the stern docking bridge. Roy reports seeing a boat in the water, and Boxhole tells him to bring up the extra distress socket signals. I guess that's supposed to be rocket signals. Or socket is a word that I don't know. Rowie and Bright go down the quartermasters locker to get them. But the Spoxhole really did a lot, I feel like. Seriously, you read his name in every step you see. Should I like this guy? Was he like the hero in this situation, or did he do fucked up things as well? I really don't know. Or did he fuck everything up and try to do everything, but he really didn't know what he was doing? That I really can't tell, because I don't know if he made the right choices or not. But for me, as a person that doesn't know anything about ships or boats, or basically anything technical, this guy seems to be very helpful and very brave and heroic. But like I said, I don't know. Maybe he fucks everything up. Stuart Way sees water on E-deck, has reached as far aft as the second funnel casting in the vicinity of the first class stairway on both the port and starboard sides. And maybe some people would just say no. I mean, he can't be that good because Titanic sank, but maybe it's just a situation. Maybe it's just like, you know, the ship was bound to sink when it started, like, because there was no chance of surviving that, even if you would have done everything perfect. You know what I mean? And criticizing that he not head for the iceberg straight on, I think that would be the wrong thing to do here. Because I think it really is the better choice. Maybe it wasn't in that case, but I don't know, like I said. Apparently it's a disgusted topic. But I think you definitely can't criticize him because I don't know who turned the ship, but you definitely can't criticize anyone for not hitting an iceberg. I mean, it did hit it, but like straight on, you know what I mean? I think that's something you just can't criticize. And in this case, like from the things that I know and that people have written down in the comments, it really seems like this ship was bound to fail, because like I think it didn't even have like the best safety. It wasn't the safest ship because I think they used like, I think it was screws, cheaper screws, or something like that. I know they didn't use the safest materials that they could have used. Which, I don't know, you could say that it's a dirty way to save money, but like, I don't know if it was, like, who could have imagined that they fucking crash an iceberg, you know what I mean? Or hit an iceberg. Like, you just. I mean, it always goes safer, you know what I mean? But you also. You want to be safe, but not the most expensive thing in the world. So I think, for me, it feels like it doesn't seem to be. It didn't. It's for me. It's not like bad that they did it like that. You know what I mean? Saving money is always seen as such a bad thing in everything, pretty much, because there's if you save money, most likely some disadvantages, but you can't spend all of your money in everything because otherwise it would have been, imagine like creating something. If you put everything, the most expensive stuff in the thing that you're creating, then for the person who buys it, of course it's gonna be more expensive and nobody wants that as well. So it's, I feel like you do have to find a middle ground to that. But sometimes this middle ground isn't enough. That's also something you have to consider. There it goes. Ooh. Okay, now ship is filled like a lot. Boat number 3 is loaded away. Titanic's Marconi operator signals that they cannot read an incoming transmission from the Olympic due to the rush of air and the escape of steam. And a third time reacting to the ship sinking, or generally a ship sinking, would have been too much. I feel like the second time is kind of good that I'm doing it because I can, like, thank everyone, by the way. Thank you for everything. Like the subscribers, the likes, and the comments. I really like it, and the discussions that happen, that's great. And I'm really thankful for that. And that's why I'm kind of glad that I'm doing this second one. And we did brought up some interesting and also very controversial and difficult topics as well. But nice that I talked about that as well. So I guess it is good that I did this second reaction, but a third one would just be too much because, like I said, I already know what happened. And even if it was like another ship, even if I'd react to another ship, that would just be way too much, seriously. Like, would you even want that? Would you even want to watch me watching like 5 ship or so sink. Why did they fill up one boat at a time anyways? Couldn't they, to save time, just fill up multiple boats at once? Just to like use the full capacity of the boats? Like I said, I'm not an expert, but that seems to be way smarter, I don't know. But these people are experts on ships, they probably know it better, or knew it better. So there's probably a reason and it does make sense, but I wouldn't know it. For me, it feels like these, I don't know how they call it, these 4 things where steam comes from. They do seem really asymmetrical, and it really triggers me for some reason. Since the first few minutes, like, it triggered me. This is creepy, man. Now it's 1 a.m. Or is it? I don't know. I just see 00 a.m. I didn't see the 1 because, like I said, my screen is kind of cutting off a little of every edge. A little of the sides, I mean. Not just the edges. Not just the edges. Oh my god, I feel the chips now. Oh my god. Like my stomach literally hurts a little bit right now. Both number 6 and 8 begin lowering away, but boat number 6 gets held up and reaches the water a few minutes after boat number 8. And why was it hold up? Why don't they say that? I don't get it. Or maybe they just don't know. Or he or she, I don't know how many people work in this. But it is really interesting, like, how they did this. Like, how can you do it? How could they have done that? Like, so... Wait, how could you have done? I don't know if that sentence is even right, but I don't know how they did this, like, so accurately. Like, you'd have to know, like, that they know the exact minutes and times on when it happened and describing it. It's so interesting, and especially animating it as well. I guess a lot of that stuff isn't that accurate, like, time-wise. Probably a lot of stuff happened a few minutes earlier or later, but it's still really good. Props to Part-Time Explorer and the guy that I reacted last time to that I forgot the name. I hope I linked it in the description. Oh my god, Jesus. The second time, Jesus. I thought there was a thunder out there. Like, the video is basically mute. Nothing happens sound-wise except sometimes you can hear water and then this fucking rocket comes along. Maybe you should have added some people talking as well. Because it is kind of too quiet for a fucking ship sinking, you know? Just some people talking would be really good, I think. And then getting louder once, like, the situation gets more difficult. And then blending and screaming when the stuff goes down, you know what I mean? The screaming was... In the last video they did blend in screaming. I mean, they did put in some talking between the crew, but just at the beginning. Later on they just didn't do it anymore. At first they were like, come on, we can synchronize these dialogues, and then they were like, fuck it. Let's not do that. Let's just write it there. Lawrence Besley reports that a rumor spreads on the starboard side that men are being taken off on the port side. This leads to the aft starboard quarter of the board deck becoming virtually abandoned. Jesus, I got scared again. There was some sound outside right now that kind of scared me. Seriously, these are rockets. But now the ship is kind of turned. It progresses faster and faster. But it's really interesting, like, ship has so much water in it. Like, it is like, it's been 1.5 hours since the ship hit the iceberg and it's still floating. That is actually really sick. After waiting for over an hour, the steam finally stops blowing off, leaving the Titanic shrouded in a deathly silence. First Officer Mordor and Fifth Officer Lower Boat Number 1. I don't know why I find that so funny. First Officer Mordor and Fifth Officer Lower Boat Number 1 on the starboard side. Low moves aft and to port where crowds are congregating. Oh, jeez. But these words are so complicated as well. How am I supposed to understand that? Congregating due to the rumor that men are being taken off from that side. Motive moves aft on the starboard side. I mean, I could translate the words that I don't understand, but they're just way too many. Like, I won't remember them after the stream. Looking up words is a great way to learn the language, by the way. Because if you look it up yourself, that you're really likely to remember it, because if you have to look it up every time, then your brain memorizes it better, because you have to know, you know what I mean. It's even better than when someone tells you. But it's also a lot of effort, that's why I'm not gonna do it. The music doesn't fit in at all, but I don't care. Well, right now it kind of fits a little bit. Okay, it doesn't. But like, these sorts of videos are really great to react to because like there's so much silence and in the video there's not much. I mean, there is a lot of stuff happening, but like really slow and it's like really quiet, so someone commenting on that is an interesting thing to watch, I think. And I still need to pee. Imagine sitting on that lifeboat. I don't know, I feel like I would kind of feel guilty. Because I know if I would have stayed on the ship, someone else may have survived and died on the Titanic, but there's no reason to feel guilty about this. Except if you really rushed for the boat just to save your life. But I guess it's like human to want to live. Like it's women and children first, but there were probably a lot of men just rushing in, you know what I mean? To save their lives. And I guess that's kind of human. I seriously couldn't blame anyone. And they probably did feel bad about this afterwards, but it is kind of human to wanting to survive, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't know if that was arrogant. That is also it's again such a controversial topic. Is it arrogant to to rush in to save yourself? If other people should come before you, because like you. But wait, sometimes I just put in a random German word as well. I remember one time, less. It's not. Wait, let me read that first. In Boiler Number 5, there's a sudden rush of water. All the leading firemen, Brad Barrett managers to get up the escape ladder. Junior assistant engineer Herbert Harvey, junior assistant second engineer Jonathan Stafford are both killed. When Barrett reaches E-deck, he sees water coming up Scott Road from forward. They were killed? Manages to get up the escape as junior assistant engineer. Wait, don't you just say killed when really someone killed someone? Or do you also say killed if someone died in an explosion or if they drowned, that they were killed by the water? I really don't know. But yeah, last time it happened that I said something in English. I was really tired, and someone said something, and I was like, but, and everyone was like, wait, because I literally said but. I literally said but, like the English word, but not in German. I didn't say it in German. I was like, but, warte, was? Wieso rede ich jetzt Englisch? Which translates me, wait, what? Why did I speak English right now? And right now, it really feels like, I can you stop that, please? Okay, actually, the first one didn't scare me. The second one did, though. But this is like really funny. That sometimes I just put in random German or English words, like before with the ach. But ach is something I gotta say as well, even in the English streams, because it's just so great. And what did I say before? Before the German speaking thing, I did say something else. But I don't know what. If that means what I know. I don't know anymore. Fuck it. Was that the language thing? That you normally are really good at remembering stuff except for names and dates. Yeah, Titanic MGY, but like conversations I really can remember really good. Gives Olympic MKC his position, blah blah blah, and says we have struck an iceberg. Oh yeah, is it arrogant? Because like, is it arrogant because you don't just save yourself, you also like care about your friends and family at the moment, because if you die they'd be sad, and maybe you have like a child that you need to care about at home, you know what I mean? So I mean, it's like not just about you in that case, you know what I mean? Like, you put your family first instead of all these other passengers on the ship, but it also, but you also care about your family, and I think like it's normal that you care about your family and your friends and yourself more than about others. I don't know. I mean, yourself is not really that normal to care about yourself more than about others, because that's different in every person, I think. But caring about your environment more than about anything else in the world is just normal, I feel like. And I'll be honest, I'm not different. If I'd had the choice between all my friends would die right now, and like all friends of like 100 people in different countries in the world would die, which would be 100 times heavier, I'd still choose the 100 other ones, because these ones I don't care about that much, you know what I mean? There are a lot of moral questions that you can ask yourself like this. Like, would you kill, would you, if like there was a train coming from a direction and there are like two separate ways that the train could go in, and one there are like two people, on the other one there was like one person, and the train would head for the two persons and kill them, and you could turn the switch so the train goes to the one person. Would you press the switch? Because that's also a difficult moral question, because if you choose to press the switch, you killed a person, or you're responsible for the death of a person that otherwise wouldn't have died, but you saved two lives for that. So I guess I would definitely do that. Well, actually, I'd search for a choice to kill all three of them. No, sorry. No, but it is. I feel like I would definitely press the switch, but I do see the moral dilemma that exists in that question. Music doesn't fit in as well. There's the sad situation that there's a fucking ship sinking and the music is just. Truman Cavill comes up to the boiler room number 4 after seeing water coming over the store called what was the word? Plates there. I also haven't streamed it in a long time. Can we talk about that? But yeah, I said, can we talk about that? And I'm just blacking out. Why am I always so tired during the stream? I don't know why. This is such an exhausting thing, seriously. I like streaming, don't get me wrong, but it really gets me tired every time. I mean, I like most of it, but there are just these moments where I just don't have anything to say, and I'm just like, and then it kind of gets boring for these moments, you know what I mean? Like right now, there are like 5 minutes of the ship just doing this, and I like talking, and I like just talking about stuff, don't get me wrong as well. And when I have something to say, then I'm feeling good, but when I'm like, what do I say now? Then it's like, and then I get tired. I mean, I also get tired while talking for some reason, but I don't know why streaming gets me tired every time, even though I like it. Normally I get tired of when I do things that I don't like, or that are boring. But with streaming, it's just not the case. But right now there's also no one in the chat, which makes this a little... Hey, why don't we have a viewer count, by the way? Just noticed. yeah, that is always something that, yeah, when there's no one in chat, then it's like, that, I mean, when there's someone in the chat, then it's always like, then I feel a lot more awake. Boat number 16 lowered away. Trimmer Dillon, Jesus God, and leading fireman Thriffle all hear orders to get topside. Second engineer Hesketh is recalled to have said, "We've done all we can. We've done all we can, man. Get out now." Most of the remaining firemen, trimmers, and greasers begin to move topside. At least some of the more saner engineers stay below at their posts. My leg kind of hurts now. I don't know from what. Oh, my stomach hurts because of the chips. Oh, nice. Jesus Christ. But right now it doesn't get me emotional, so I guess it is also kind of interesting having this seeing this with like the emotional perspective, and then another time with like a emotional soberness, like a lot more neutral, you know what I mean? Oh my god, I was resting my arm on my hand on my crotch right now. Titanic MGY tells Olympic MKC captain says, "Get your boats ready, going down fast at the head. What is your position?" And I was like resting my hand on my crotch, and I really pressed against my ball. It really hurt me right now. I underestimated the force of my hand resting there. I accidentally pressed a little bit against it as well. I mean, it didn't hurt a lot, but just the fact that it hurt. It's kind of funny. Passengers rush boat number 12 for a warm back, apparently without the need for any shots to be fired. I'm thinking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right now because I watched it for the stream. I didn't watch the whole series as a kid, but that's not what I wanted to go for right now. It's like the main thing is I'm just watching it with Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I want to talk about this, and I'm always thinking about this and kind of wanting to talk about this right now. But then I'm like, dude, you're reacting to the Titanic sinking. This doesn't fit in at all right now. It's just like so. This just doesn't have to do anything with anything. It is something I could say when I play a game or something like that. I feel like. I'm not sure if I stream tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow here is in like 2.5. No, wait. 3.5 hours. But yeah, I think after this reaction, I'm going to end the stream, definitely. In this video, it really looks like there's not happening a lot. But there is happening a lot, just really, really slowly. Like, just the fact that there are so many people being scared for their lives. By the way, I said all this technical stuff before, that I'm not really interested in the technical things of the ship. But that doesn't mean that I don't want anything like that in the comments. I really don't want to shrink your knowledge, or this time it didn't scam. Second officer Lightroller orders both when Alfred, Nicholas, and 6 other seamen to go down and open the gangway doors on the port side of the deck. The men are apparently never seen again. Wait, what? Seamen to go down and open the gangway doors on the port side of the deck. Oh my god. Whoa. Holy shit. Holy shit. Why am I laughing? Oh, I mean, it wasn't like, no, that was funny laugh. That was like a, what the fuck laugh? Like a nervous laugh. But that doesn't mean you have to shrink yourself in the comments, like, tell everything you know. It's, even if it's like not that interesting to me knowing these technical things, but it may be to other people, and I always like having people putting the knowledge in there. This just makes me feel good that you feel good putting your knowledge out. It's really nice. It's like when when someone tells you about this new hobby they have, and they're like so into it, and they're like, and then they do this, then they do that, and it's just so sick because then that happens, and you can do this and this, and I'm just so into it. Okay, I'm saying that I'm finishing that right now, and I'm just so into that because, and you feel like yes, and you just feel like, huh, I like this. He's so happy about this. Which if someone, wait, let me tell you that after I read that. As boat number 14 passes a deck on its way to the sea, a crowd makes Fifth Officer Love believe that they are about to rush the boat. He fires his personal revolver 3 times between the ship and the lifeboat to scare them back. Wait, what? As boat number 14. Okay. That is sick. But yeah, I guess it's something you just have to do in this situation. But if someone tells you about something they really enjoy and really tells you details about it, you shouldn't be like, you should never say something like, and be like, oh, I'm really glad that you're enjoying it so much. That is just basically like, fuck you, I didn't listen, but I like that you're happy about it. That is just a straight up punch in the face. I mean, you should comment on the things that they say. If they say something like, I learned that that is, then say something. I learned the fact that then you should say something about the fact and show that you really listen instead of, I like that you're happy about this. Really interesting that you learned the fact. This makes me really happy. This is just a dick thing to do. I mean, you can't say that. You should maybe just say something about the fact and say that, by the way, I like that you're really happy about this. I like that you're enjoying this so much. Especially when I was a kid, that kind of pissed me off. Because I was the kind of kid that always wanted to show what they can do and what they learned, and I was really arrogant. But I guess it's normal with children. Like, really showing yourself, and I mean, this energy goes away for some reason when you're older, but which is kind of sad actually, but I guess it's better than everyone just always telling you what they learned and what they like and stuff. Like, you don't need to know everything. But if anyways, I mean, either way, I feel like people generally are really arrogant. Like, people, especially when it comes to conversations, because people don't really show interest, at least it feels like that for me, in what other people like and what other people do, or maybe it's just me, that could also be a thing. I just didn't notice that it's different with other people, but more on like what they do and what they like. Yeah. Like, when someone tells you about something that you really don't like, you just won't listen and won't care, you know what I mean? Even if the other person is talking to you really enjoys it, and or maybe it's the life of the other person, like their work or something like that. But you still kind of talk to them because you want to talk about your work or something like that. And your life, you know what I mean? It's basically conversations, it feels like, are most likely just you telling about yourself and you both numbers 12 and 9 along the way. You telling about yourself and you telling about yourself. At least it feels like that for me in every situation, because I mean, if someone, I don't know, if someone is telling the grades in school, before I said marks, now I say grades. Sometimes I'm really switching between these. I think it's English, British English and American English, but often I really switch between that. Today I said chips, last time I said crisps, I think. Yeah, if someone says like something like, I have this and this grade, the people would say, that is actually really good, or that's actually really bad. I had this and this grade. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know any conversation, and especially when I'm kind of, I hate these breaks that I'm always doing. Especially when I really listen to a conversation that I'm doing right now, or thinking about conversations in the past. I always notice this. Like, you can't just, if someone tells about their life, not just about their life, but like what happened to them today, or how they feel like, and what they did and what they like. The conversation never goes about that. It's always like, never just goes about that, you know what I mean? It's never like that you just talk about, if someone tells you about like a story, or like I said, grades, or I don't know, anything, it never stays the conversation never stays at that person. Because you always bring up your life as well. Like, if someone says about their day, the next thing you do is what happened in your day. Or, oh, that happened to me. Oh, the same thing happened to me last week. And then you're talking about yourself again. You know what I mean? And it's always like that. Like, it really feels like conversations are basically just everyone talking about themselves. My stomach. This time it didn't scare me. Now I'm used to it. Okay. Now it's 15 minutes ago. Boat number 10 is swung out on the port side of the boat deck. Oh my god, my stomach. Oh, it's bad. Well, it's always just like for a few seconds. Like, I'm not constantly in pain right now, but I always get this feeling in between where I'm just like, oh fuck. And it's not that bad pain-wise, but it does feel kind of weird. I don't know how long it's been since I had a stomach ache. It's been that's been a long time for real. Maybe I've been eating healthy. But I mean, right now I don't really have a stomach ache as well. It's just like, for a few seconds, it's like just oh my god. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, it is a little bit of a pain, but really, it's basically nothing. Boat number 11 is lowered away from A deck. It was loaded with passengers from both the boat deck and the open promenade deck below. How is this more accurate, by the way? I just noticed that. And like this whole video, how is this more accurate than the thing that we watched before? I wonder which sort of information that stood there were not as correct as in this video right now. Yes, I'm starting to get tired. Tiredy. That is also a great word. I'm tiredy. Olympic MKC equals Titanic MGY. Commander Titanic 4:24 AM GMT. Coordinates. Are you steering softly to meet us? Head dog? Cat dog? That was a weird show. Actually, it wasn't weird. I really liked it when I was a kid. I don't know how I would like it now. The land station at Cape Race MCE can no longer hear any messages from Titanic MGY. Okay, now. Oh, now we're getting to the sinking part. It's been 2 hours now. It's so sick that the Titanic stayed so long, that the Titanic floated normally for so long. I mean, from outside, did you just hear my stomach? What the fuck? It was just like, "Argh." But from the outside, you don't see anything. It doesn't look damaged at all. It looks like it's floating normally. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little tilted, but really interesting that it is just so slowly. And that is actually really good because otherwise they couldn't have loaded the lifeboats. Oh my god, I just can't imagine how cold this water is. Like, imagine they didn't just hit anything, they hit a fucking, they just hit a fucking iceberg. So these are ice cold temperatures. Titanic MGY to Olympic MKC. We are putting the woman off in small boats. Men rush boat number 15 as it is ready to lower away and are warned to stay back by First Officer Motter, his revolver in hand. So they have the choice between drowning and getting shot. I mean, they could get another lifeboat. I mean, it's not like they necessarily have to die if they don't get on a lifeboat. But I guess it's the safest thing to like don't rush anything or don't panic and just do what the officers and commanders say. I mean, they didn't only care for themselves as well. Boat number 13 lowers away. It is followed by condenser exhaust as it nears the sea and is pushed eastern directly underneath boat number 15. And yeah, imagine the officers being as scared and as panicky and only care for themselves. Well, you can't tell if they only care for themselves, I mean, but if they'd saved themselves to be safe and not the other ones, then a lot more people would have died. You know what I mean? And if everyone stays calm and just reacts how they're told to, the more lives get saved and the more likely you are to survive. I don't know how many lives, how many people died just because of this rushing from other people and because everyone was panicking. I don't know if everyone was panicking, but there clearly were some people panicking. But if like everyone stayed calm and just did what the other people told us, I bet there were so many. There would have been so much more lives saved. Titanic MGY tells Olympic MKC, tell Captain we are putting the passengers off in small boats. Not it did blend in some talking noises. I mean, exactly these sounds they could have blended in pretty much the whole time. Well, but from that perspective and the music stuff again. I mean, from that perspective, it makes sense that only the water is shown because it's from further away, and it's the perspective that is shown most, so it doesn't make sense. Boat number 2 is lowered away. Top of the box for is command of the boat. Is command of the boat. Going to Master Row says behind on the bridge. Now I'm kind of thinking about these two guys again that went down and were never found again. Actually kind of creepy. Imagine what happened to them. Maybe they opened the door and their room completely flooded and then they drowned. It must have been so terrible. While boarding boat 10, female passenger slips between the deck and the boat, hanging on for several moments until she's pulled in by passengers on the A-deck promenade. It is believed that boat 10 waited for her to come back to the boat deck and board again. Wait, what? The moments until she is pulled in by the passengers on the okay, now it's kind of shown. Oh, okay, now I understand. Okay, there I'm glad that people were animated, so... That makes sense, but holy shit. Now it's tilted like crazy. The instrumentals right now sounded like the people screaming, I don't know. At least it felt like that. Oh shit. That is bad. Imagine getting this just ice cold shower, it's just horrible. At boat 15 near the water there is a scramble to get boat number 13 free of its fall. As boat 15 nears the water there is a scramble to get boat number 13 free of its falls before number 15 comes down on top of it. Oh my god. I'd be so scared when that happened. Boat 13 escapes mere seconds before number 15 touches down into the water. At least that worked out. Boat trick NBC hears Titanic MGY signaling the messages being transmitted by Harold Wright while Jack Phillips goes on deck to investigate the situation. Bright scenes and room getting flooded. They're so sick that the cracking. Oh my god, my hand fell asleep. My hand fell asleep. Oh, my stomach. My stomach didn't fall asleep. Didn't fall asleep. Jesus. The last signals from Titanic MGY are overheard by the Mount Temple and Q. Titanic is still able to reply to Olympic MKC. Even though half the boat is on the water, it feels like. But the tilting part takes just so long. The cracking part of this is just such a small part of this whole video, which is so interesting. The last one as well. After that, nothing else happened. People died and people left, but yeah. There's not much else to show, I guess. It is also just about this ship sinking. Not about every story of every person that was on that ship. I said boat again, right? Fuck. Imagine that being a video. The last distress rocket is fired by Quadmaster Rogue. Finally, at least it's the last rocket. Video wise. Was our 4 and 10 alert away at almost the same time. But now they do fill up multiple boats at once. But we know they didn't use the full capacity. That we know from the other video. Frankfurt, DFT, tries calling Titanic MGY, no response. By the way, me having a slight stomach ache is not gonna prevent me from eating 3 packages of chips tomorrow. And a lot more unhealthy shit. Okay. My stomach just said, no, you don't. But I will. Jack Phillips to the returns to the macaroni shack and tells Bridge that the forward wall deck is awash and that there is a strong list to pour. A ground of men attempt to rush collapsible sea as it is being loaded. First officer murder fires shots and wants him to stay back. The loading then resumes. I'm really interested in how the Kraken will look. With these animated people. Now my battery is running low. I really notice right now. Are you serious, right? Okay, now it really does feel like really slow. I really gotta say now. Now it's good. Now it really gets exhausting. Oh, seriously, the thing that I said with resting my hands before, that happened again right now. My hand, I mean. Ah, fuck. This I thought really happens in a lot of songs from NCS. I mean, NCS isn't the maker of the songs, but you know what I mean. But this time, while I was resting my head, it hit both my balls. Shit. Like I was like doing this right here because of my stomach. I was like, it's exhausting. Oh, not exhausting, but on my stomach. And there was right into my ball, but at least just with one hand. Into my balls. I'm really fucking up. Singular and plural. Singular and... What is the other one? I really messed those two up right now. Burma SBA hears Titanic MGY say women and children in boats cannot last much longer MGY. Oh fuck. Okay, now this one was terrible. Oh fuck. But I'm feeling better now. But no, my stomach was like, and I don't know why, but this time it really hurt. But only like for 3 seconds or something like that. But it was really uncomfortable. Accompanied by either Lighthauler or Wild with a whistle, Captain Smith calls out via a megaphone for some of the lifeboats to return to the Titanic for more passengers. With most of the lifeboats gone and over 1,500 still on Titanic, this was a desperate final attempt by the crew to save lives. Okay, this is really
Come
sad.
out to the starboard side to bring aboard more passengers. Pull back! All boats, pull back! This is the captain! Pull back to the ship!
I wonder if they found it too risky. Why not pause it? None of the lifeboats returned to the Titanic. Now it's the final half hour. Fuck that. Jesus Christ. I wonder if they thought that was too risky to do, or if they couldn't do it, or if they just didn't hear the captain because they were too far away. But this is just so fucked up. I mean, literally none of them returned back. That is so fuck, man. The last wireless message from Titanic MGY was heard by Capilia MPE. Engine room full up to boilers. Captain Smith comes into the wireless cabin and tells the Phillips and Bright, "You can do nothing more. Look out for yourself." Look out for yourself. Look out for yourselves. Again, I messed up singular. Is it plural? Yeah, plural. I messed up singular and plural again. Like in German, if the German and English word sounds exactly the same, because in Germany it's singular and plural, and in English it's singular and plural. If they sound so similar, I'm always really unsure if it's the right word for it. But there are so many words in German and English that are literally just the same, just pronounced differently. There's so many words like that. By followers, primes, and viewers on. I won't buy anything. I'm not really sure if that's about right now. But if not, Happy Tum Ji. Welcome to the stream. Sorry if I mispronounced it, by the way. But it does say, but it does have this 3-star symbol. No, it is definitely a bot. Because that is probably a website. So annoying. How do I block this thing? Oh, there. No, wait, it doesn't block him, huh? Oh, now it works. Fuck off. Okay, yeah, now it does work. Oh, collapses C. Collapsible C is far away. AM. What time is it anyways? 9/11. I literally talked about 9/11 before. what some things really don't feel like a coincidence, really. There are just so many things where I'm just like, what the fuck? How did that just happen? Like that right now. We talked about 9/11 before, and I'm looking at time 9/11. And while I said it, I didn't think anything about it. I was just like, okay, it's 9/11. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? And situations like that happen so many times, and this doesn't seem like coincidence anymore. Especially, like, I don't know if it's just me, but seriously, I am experiencing this situation so many times where I say something and exactly that happens. Or where I just like feel, or, or if like my surrounding really does something that really fits to my situation right now. As collapsible sea lowers, drops against the Titanic side due to the strong portless. At this port, forward wall deck is underwater, along the most, but not all, of the forecastle. Was it castle? Yeah. This was the first time I read it in time, and I had to go back. I was not sure if I read the last word correct. My stomach growls so much right now. I don't know if growling is even a word. The ship's band, previously playing from within the first class entrance, at last moves out onto the starboard board deck to play their final pieces. They are all seen by survivors who were known to have been on the starboard side. It is reported that a group of about 30 people is standing around the band. Oh my god, what? There were some people just listening to them. Oh, now it does seem to sink really fast. As you can tell, this is really going. Oh my god. Now it's sinking faster. Or it just seems like it. As collapsible is loading, the crew lock arms and form a line to prevent men from rushing to the boat. Officer Lightoller later tells Colonel Gracie in private that he had to fire warning shots at this boat. Jane Hoyt sees Chief Officer Light threaten men with a revolver. I can't imagine being so much stress as a crew member there. I would never want to be in those shoes. Just this responsibility there. You do have, and you do have to know, like you don't know which information is important right now to tell and which one would just waste time. You want to tell everything that happens right there, and but some things may just you don't know if giving the spreading the information to the other crew members is actually something that could save lives, or if it's wasting time and could be dangerous to lives. Absolutely becomes the last lifeboat successfully launched from Titanic. Seriously, I would be so overwhelmed with this. Absolutely, yeah. I read that. I thought it was like another caption there. Walk. Okay, now it really hurts. Oh Jesus. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. My stomach. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. You really felt like there was some fists in my stomach and just pushing with all force in that direction. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh fuck me. Oh my god, not again. Oh fuck. Oh. Okay, it's enough, Jesus. Oh, 3 times in a row. But the first one was the most horrific one. What the fuck's going on in there? The last wireless message sent from Titanic may have been transmitted. It was a general CQD MGY call, according to our bride. Yet no one answers. Phillips and Bright, unsure that they are even transmitting anymore, abandoned the Macon room. Jeez. Okay, now with this music, it's kind of creepy actually. How did this fit so perfectly? It was such a sick timing. Oh my god. My brain just shut off completely right now. I was just like, I was just not there anymore. Seeing Collapsible D about 9 or 10 feet away, first class passenger Hoff Wallner and Moritz Björnström Stevenson leap over the submerging A-deck railing and climb aboard. Finally did it, Jesus. These streams definitely helped me improve my reading skills. Especially my English ones. Boat number 2, the only lifeboat to obey the captain's command to row to the ship's starboard side, now runs the sinking Titanic's rudder, clipping in as close as possible in all due haste. Wait, what? Oh, maybe that's why they weren't filled as at full capacity. Because they lowered it as fast as they can to save time, and the ones that weren't full were supposed to stay there close to this ship so passengers could still come after. And jump in later on. Maybe that's why. Bandmaster Wallace Hartley leads the ship. Oh my god. Orchestra in their final piece. Newman got to the. Newman got to the. What? Oh wait, that's a piece. Ah, okay, now I get it. Let me look it up real quick. Because of copyright, I won't do it in the stream, but after the stream, I will listen to it. Stomach. But now I want to watch the stream to the end. Oh, do they play it? Please don't get me that copyright straight. Please. I mean, the video used this as well. Imagine this song playing while you scared for your life. But this is so great. They calmed them down. I don't know if it calmed them down or made them even more scared, because this may sound like death, you know what I mean? But maybe it sounds calming to them. And for the orchestra, is that how you pronounce it? It may be a form to deal with their stress, because they have to concentrate on playing their instruments, you know what I mean? And maybe that's distracting them from the whole stress that is happening. Thomas Andrews and Captain Smith are observed entering. Why do I always read entertaining instead of entering the water together? Maybe that's the first time for today, but it's happened a lot, I feel like. From port side of the bridge as water begins flooding the area. Captain Smith tells Andrews, "We cannot stay any longer, she is going." I have to read that again real quick. That's a beast thrown from the roof of the officers' quarters. It lands upside down in the water on the port side of the boat deck. Fuck. Oh my god, this looks so scary already. Just the situation there looks scary, like on these huge waves. I mean, we don't know how big they were in the real scenario, but and I guess there weren't people standing in the water, but these waves just coming closer to you. I can't imagine how it must feel like when water gets so threatening. Efforts around the mouth. There was a hair on my side, and I felt like it really pissed me off right now. I don't know why. It was exactly in my side. Efforts are underway to get collapsible A lowered from the roof of the officers' quarters to the starboard side and boat on the boat deck. It ends up on the deck upright and is connected to the falls for boat number 1. But they definitely didn't have enough lifeboats. I feel like this is something you can say for sure about the Titanic, that they just didn't have enough lifeboats. I mean, there was still 1,500 people on board, and they're already running low on lifeboats. Imagine if they just could have been like, we do have enough lifeboats, just put as much people in those lifeboats as fast as possible, and we will all be safe. We do have enough lifeboats, they don't have to be full, just put in as much people as fast as you can. Or not even as many people, just put people in there and lower the boats as fast as you can. And a lot of people will save probably. Titanic's portless eases, and she takes a slight but definite plunk forward. Both collapsible boats are cast into the sea, as are all those in the area. The crowd begins to move off towards there. Oh, now the crack happens, I think. Oh my god. Fuck. At this part where it really gets heavy is just the last 5 minutes or so. Damn. oh my god, this water just swallowing you. Ah, fuck. Slipping like that must be so fucked up. But it didn't just crack, it broke up like piece by piece. Which I think wasn't really seen in the other animation. I can't remember it all that much, but I think it wasn't shown that much. Oh my god, it's basically 90 degrees, Jesus. Oh my god, don't tell me it just goes like this now. Oh, imagine just holding yourself there, Jesus. Oh my god, I don't know how high the people who are like at the tip of the ship, how tight they hold on right there. And for going back and back, that's so fucking creepy. Oh my god, and how high must it be? Like, being so. Whoa. And there it goes. Titanic is gone. 2:20 a.m. Survivors on the surface report hearing the ship breaking apart. Survivors on the surface report hearing the ship breaking apart as she falls to the seafloor. Okay, now the credits. Damn. That was sick. Great animation. Great channel. Here you can see all the people who have worked on this. Oh my god, my stomach. I'm sorry. My stomach just really howls and I don't know. But yeah, I guess that is it for the stream. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it as much as you did the last one. Like I said, this is gonna be the last time of me reacting to the stream. Yeah, I'm reacting to the stream. That's exactly what I'm doing here. Reacting to a ship sinking because like it gets exhausting. But yeah, like I said, thank you and have a great time and day and yeah. See you around.